Do you ever get confused whether to use much, many, some, any, little or few in a sentence? Well, if yes, this video is for you. Hello everyone, welcome to English World. In this video, we are going to discuss quantifiers. Let me first explain to you what a quantifier is. A quantifier is a word that describes the quantity of something. So quantifiers are used just before the object in a sentence. Quantifier depends on whether the object, the thing that you're talking about, is countable or uncountable. The sentence is positive or negative. Let's understand the difference between much and many. There are nouns which are countable and there are nouns which are uncountable. Countable nouns are those which can be counted. For example, chair, people, or players, or pencils. These are nouns which can be counted. So these are called countable nouns. However, there are some nouns which cannot be counted or with which we cannot actually use 1, 2 or 3 just before the noun. For example, rice, soil or sugar. With these we cannot say 1 sugar, 2 sugar, 3 sugar. So these are called uncountable nouns. Starting with the first quantifier, much. Much means a lot of something. The thing is in high quantity. So you can use the quantifier much with that. For example, you can say there is too much sugar in the coffee. That means the quantity of sugar is very high, but you cannot actually count the sugar crystals. So you will use the word much. So we will say there is much humidity in the air. You can also make sentences like I have too much work or there isn't much food in the fridge. So with all these we will use much, which means that the item exactly cannot be counted. Moving on to many. Many is used with countable nouns and the quantity can be counted easily. For example, there are many people in this room. There are many players who are waiting for their turn. There are many children in the school. There are many houses in my neighborhood. That means the items can be counted. There are many teachers in my school or many boys are playing in the field. With all these, we will use many. So, I hope you have understood the difference between much and many. Much is used with uncountable nouns, whereas many is used with countable nouns. Moving on to the next quantifiers, which are little and few. Little means something is there, but the quantity is very less. So, we will use the word little with that. For example, I need a little help from you. You need a little help from somebody. You can say that I need a little help from you. Or there is little rice in the bowl. So rice is there, but it is little. You cannot actually count the rice grains. So you will use little. The next one is few. Few suggests a small number, but that number can be counted. For example, there are a few hotels in my city. Or there are a few children in my school who are from poor families. So you can actually count, but the number is very less. So you can say few. For example, you can also make a sentence like there are a few pages left in my notebook. So the pages are there, but they are very few. Or there are a few animals in the cage. So a very few animals are there in the cage which can be counted. So you will use few. And moving on to a last set of quantifiers, some and any. Some is used in a positive sense. For example, I need some money from you. Or there are some pieces in this puzzle which are unsolved. So some are there which are unsolved and you are specifying which ones are these. So then you will use some. Or you can also say an example like some people are waiting for you. You can easily tell which ones. So you will use some. On the contrary, any means anyone, any object. So any also shows quantity, but the quantity is not defined. You are not actually telling which ones. It can be any. So suppose you go to a class and you want somebody to volunteer for some celebration. So you can say any children can participate. So you're not specifying which one, you are just saying any. That means koi bhi. So it is generally used in a negative sense where you don't want to tell which one, but you are just telling anybody or anyone can do the work. For example, you go to a florist and you want to know whether he has roses. So you would say, do you have any roses? So it is not specifying which ones or which color, but you're just asking, do you have any roses? So we can say this. Another sentence can be, I don't have any money. So this is also used in a negative sense, that you are telling that I don't have any money. I hope your quantifiers are clear now. If not, watch the video again and you can solve these exercises along with me. Thanks for watching. Take care.